How might we describe Gustav from the Grand Budapest Hotel? Maybe he's a gentleman, he's kinda dainty, and he's like a gold-digging con man or something. How about Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley? Maybe a cocky, sarcastic Satanist? Another important, often overlooked characterization is in terms of their status. With chickens, if resources like food or roosting spots are scarce, they will peck one another, or stare each other down, with murder in their eyes. The subtext of these actions are, I'm not afraid to start a fight, and if we fight, I will win. So these are my human scraps. They call it a pecking order. Humans also have a sort of pecking order. Just like chickens, it can be expressed through the subtext of eye contact, through pecking, or otherwise demonstrating aggression. Status is about how we perceive the power or influence a person has. It's about how much someone is able to move or affect others. Do they fail to affect others, what we'll call lower status? Or do they succeed in affecting others, higher status? And in turn, it's about how much they are moved or affected. Are they easily moved, lower status, or less easily moved, higher status? We might make a status assumption based on their title or lot in life: boss, king, parent, master, servant. Or we might judge status based on someone's appearance. Someone big and muscular looks like they're immovable, and like they can easily move others compared to someone smaller. We may judge status based on their voice pitch, as pitch tends to correlate with body size. A squeaky voice feeling lower status.
Most occupied indeed.
A deep voice higher.
Thank you, Master.
I liked his other voice.
Status can be implied in their body language, the way they hold themselves, shrinking inwards like they're trying to protect themselves or like they don't have a claim to the space, or spreading out and unafraid to get into other people's personal spaces. Are they being affected by the world or space around them, being twitchy, defensive, moving carefully? Or are they less affected, firm, cool, or steady? In turn, how do they affect the space? Do they not? Do they have to go around people? Or do people move aside for them? Or do they just charge through? Do they hide from others?
I see you back there.
Or stand and face it? We get a sense for status in the way they speak. Do they speak shakily and timidly?
You know, I heard they recently decided to add more hops to it.
Again, unsure or afraid of how they will affect others, maybe fearing a reaction. Or do they speak more smoothly and controlled?
I personally relish the competition of another store. Anything to energize my workforce.
Sort of unafraid of any reaction or actively wanting one. Do they ask questions as if they're appealing to authority? Almost like they're asking for permission?
Prepared a delightful menu for us. Chilean sea bass, I believe. Shall we?
Or are they asking questions more like it's a demand for information?
When's your birthday?
A loud person may be trying to affect the world around them with volume, or they don't care about how they're affecting the world or how they're going to be judged. While a quiet person is maybe afraid to affect others. Okay, status is about how they are moved, or not moved, how they fail to move others,
Excuse me.
or how they succeed in moving others.
Service?
But a person can be high or low status at different times with different people and in different ways. For example, a character may have no control over what happens to their body, but maintain an emotional composure. A character may be the boss. Their underlings do their bidding, and they maintain a high status body language, but they're easily moved by something else. In this film, he can't watch violence, making him feel lower status in that regard. Or a big muscular guy can be moved by some small thing. You know, you can get these layers, and pretty much any action can be taken in a high status manner or a low status manner. A character can fight and win with high status. A character can fight and win with lower status. Words and phrases can be spoken with lower status.
Fuck.
Or higher.
Fuck!
One of the most important things to understand about status is that it's relative. A person getting angry and all up into other people's personal spaces will feel lower status if they're failing to move anybody.
Don't tell me it's my stammer.
It's my field. I can assure you no infant starts to speak with a stammer.
But being angry and moving people
Yeah, man, what's your problem, man?
No problem.
feels higher status. Complimenting someone is a bit of a lower status action. It's expressing, this person has done something or is something that has moved me.
Wow, I heard you play on the radio.
Come on, Bolin, we're up.
But if the giver of the compliment is relatively calmer, and or the receiver has been relatively more moved by the compliment,
Like we don't appreciate you enough, so thank you. Are you crying?
it can be the complimenter who feels higher status. What status a person is expressing is little indication of whether we will like them. You know, a high status person can be more likable or less likable, but we may like or dislike them for the status they exhibit in specific situations. This movie has a zoo with dinosaurs and dinosaur holograms. The bigger one acts bored, like he's too good for it. He's attempting to appear higher status so that girls will want to sit on his lap. It's when he is moved a little bit, he lets himself just act like a dumb tourist with his kid brother, that we maybe start to like him. And on the other hand, we might like when someone goes high status, say when they stand their ground against a creep or a bully. Status relationships aren't just between people. For example, characters can be high or low status relative to objects. The way characters are framed can lend to the status feeling. The angle we're viewing them from can make them seem shorter or taller. Music can augment status.
I'm not leaving here without that necktie.
Actually, we should just go. Where'd I park?
Status is always in flux. It can change across stories, scenes, and moments.
Are you ready to see true darkness?
Are you? Are you?
But for the most part, characters and people sort of habitually go for either high or low status. And characters can practically be defined by their status habits. Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley, relatively high status. Unmoved by people's opinions of him or authority.
So, do you mind telling us when you feel like you can make it in?
Sure, whenever you hold the meeting. I'll be in an hour after that.
He's unmoved by insults or accusations.
That is a racist.
Yes. I am racist.
Even when he's at a disadvantage, he'll make like it's just an expression of his will.
Guilfoyle, can you help with any of that?
I'd rather just listen if it's all the same to you.
He's got solid body language, has a feeling like he wouldn't move much if you pushed him. He's got a deep voice, and the subtext of his tone suggests he doesn't care.
Jared, you just killed that guy.
Big head, low status. He's incredibly movable. He falls into situations and just goes along with other people's plans.
Okay.
He almost doesn't even have a will of his own. He rarely tries to attempt anything, and when he does, he fails. But in terms of body language, he's generally pretty relaxed. Compare that to Richard Hendricks. Like a lot of protagonists, he's constantly failing to achieve his desires. But he's very easily moved to emotion. He gets excited, angry, or depressed at almost every plot point. He has small body language, he's clumsy, he's skinnier than the other characters, and he has a shaky, high-pitched voice.
Fucking what?
He's the boss, but he has a lot of trouble keeping order. Feels low status even to his clothes. But once in a while, he has these outbursts of boldness where he wins out.
So, what do you say to that? Action.
If only for a moment. Despite it all, he's some sort of genius coder, and it's through his creations that he's able to move people or the world around him. Gustav from the Grand Budapest Hotel is the head concierge. He moves about the space with wide, confident strides. He directs, and people follow his orders, but he's also deeply movable to emotion, and he's still a servant to the guests. Outside the hotel, he's quick to compliment people or get overly excited.
France.
I knew it!
Trying to show that he's movable so he can put people at ease. In almost every sequence, he has this sort of dance of going higher and lower in status.
What happened? What happened, my dear Zero, is I beat the living shit out of a sniveling little runt called Pinky Bandinsky, who had the gall to question my virility. He's actually become a dear friend. You'll meet him, I hope.
Listen to the subtle subconscious pitch change in his voice when he goes from talking to a guest to an employee.
Straighten that cap, Anatole. The pleasure's mine, Herr Schneider. These are not acceptable. Good morning, Cicero. Call the goddamn plumber. Will that fail, Frau Liebling? What on earth is? Not now.
Zero acts low status with Gustav pretty much all film.
I'm afraid so. I asked around, but
He gets a little higher when it comes to his woman.
Don't flirt with her.
And when he meets his subordinate,
I'm sorry, who are you?
He starts questioning and ordering him around in a high status manner. We maybe don't often talk about status, but in life we immediately subconsciously judge and test one another's movability and jockey for respect or influence. We have a keen awareness for status.
Yes, sir.
Seeing status behaviors in story,
Pete! Pete! Oi, prick!
can be engaging all on their own. This has been Jesse with Every Frame a Canvas. Every frame of... Hey, if you'd like to support Every Frame, you can head over to Patreon. It's like Kickstarter, but for ongoing projects. As of now, my plan is to give this channel some attention. I've renamed it Inside the Line. It will have some videos like this, and others more akin to what I've already done here. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and remember, use a bidet. Saves water, saves money, and it's refreshing on your butthole after a spicy Mexican meal.